Hello everyone. Welcome to today's episode of Region 6 NPA podcast. I'm your host, Diana Macaulay, NPA President of Region 6. Today, I have my guest, Gabriella DeMarinis, joining us today. Gabby, are you there?
I'm here. Hey.
Hi.
How you doing?
How are you? I want to thank you so much for joining us on our podcast today. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good, Day
Good,
off, so yes.
So we're going to get started with a few questions. So tell me, what do you do?
So I am a physician assistant. I work in the burn ICU in Staten Island University, Northwell. So basically, a physician assistant is someone that can make medical diagnoses. We first assist in surgery. We perform physical exams. We come up with treatments and plans. Basically, everything that doctors do and NPs do.
Nice. Perfect. Nice. What made you decide to be a physician assistant?
So from when I was younger, I always knew that I wanted to help someone. I actually did a tremendous vetting process. I dipped into little bits of medicine. But I actually bumped into a PA while I was volunteering in the emergency room. And I was very intrigued, and then we got to talking about what they do, what their schedule's like, how's schooling. And it just seemed very appealing to me. It's like the quality of life is there. You're not working crazy hours unless, you decide to do that. But otherwise the biggest thing was like quality of life and still being able to indulge in medicine and help people.
Wow, very good. Nice to hear. I think that's also one of the reasons why I decided to become a NP is because the care that's being delivered, and you can make diagnosis and treatment, based on your education, and I think it's very, very important. Do you work with any NPs?
I actually do, and it's you, and you are phenomenal. Actually, we're all, and it's crazy because we're a whole PA team, and Diana is the standing tall, strong, one NP, but she is incredible. Like, she is from beginning to end so thorough, talking to patients, and you could tell like when someone's actually communicating with someone, their heart is genuinely there, and that's something that we need, especially working in burn. We deal with people that are in traumatic incidences. It's unexpected. It's not something that they're dealing with, their whole life. It's something that, we have to take the time and sit there and speak to people.
Right. You're so right. Based on your opinion, how can us as NP and PA work together and united in our profession?
I mean, I feel so physician assistants are tremendous advocates. I know doctors are in and out and moving quickly. NPs are so in parallel with us in that positioning where I just feel like us taking the time to speak to patients, we know a little bit more about what the whole situation is going on. So, I mean, as long as we work together and, we have plans that we have, settled for where the patients, what's going on with them, what's the steps for today. It's basically just being able to communicate with each other. Sometimes it's something that it has to be learned, but as long as people are open with communication, I really don't feel like it's something that's impossible to obtain. I think we do a fairly well job where we are. I think we have, a great team. So that's also a good foundation for, a strong and productive team.
Right. I agree with you. And I think we both PAs and NPs have the same goals at the end of the day. We want to do for the patient and deliver high quality care. So I think if we, have the same goal, it does make it a little bit easier working together to achieve those goals. So I do agree with you on that. All right, Gabby, tell me what is the most impactful case you've experienced?
So like I previously said, in burn, it's not someone that's dealing with, CHF their whole life. You literally could wake up one day and be in a fire. The most impactful case that probably will forever stick with me is someone that was my age, 31, who was in a fire and passed because, she went to go get her daughter. And that like really like held a place in my heart because human instinct is just to protect your own, and that's what she did. So unfortunately she passed, but the daughter did live. So in that sense, there's beauty in it, but tragedy. I think that's something that most people don't, get exposed to and understand, that literally every day is a gift. And that brings beauty to my life. And I definitely, appreciated a lot more of what I have and what I can give to people. Burn has taught me that you help people heal. And then sometimes you can't help everyone.
Yeah. That's pretty deep. Yeah, that's a tough one. Just to add to what you were saying, we do see patients at their lowest, and you're not just dealing with, the physical, you're dealing with mental, emotional, financial, when they lose everything. So you're taking care of the whole person. So, it's definitely can be a lot, but very rewarding when you see them leave the hospital and they're a totally different person. And then you follow up with them outpatient. It's a whole nother layer. So I definitely agree with you on that. So thank you for sharing. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, it's very, very true. Another question. Can you tell me something about like how do you manage work and life and like the whole work-life balance?
So to be honest, I had a real problem in the beginning. I actually came into Burn as a new grad, and I was immersed in work, and I feel like I was burning out very quickly. So I got to a point where it was like this pivotal moment where I just wasn't giving back to me. So self-love days, physical activity, if you're spiritual, take that time out to, put that time aside for you, because a healthy provider is going to be a great provider.
Right.
I did feel at one time I was just starting to burn out. And, we've had conversations before in the past where, you don't see it until someone kind of presents it to you as well. So, I was becoming like agitated, overtired, and it's just like, all right, I got to do for me.
Right.
So the beautiful thing with our schedule is I work a few days a week and then I'm off. So those are my mental health days, working out, hanging out with family. There's a beautiful balance in that. Also, it's, they're long days, but now I kind of get excited to go to work because it's like, what am I doing? Because I have that balance.
Right.
I think as healthcare professionals, a lot of people get lost in their work.
Yeah, and very true.
They tend to bring it home. And it's actually, disabling, not just to you and your family, but to your patients. So at one point, you have to be able to break away. I know it sounds terrible, but there's a healthy balance in being able to break away from work and your personal life.
Yeah.
And it makes you a great provider at the end of the day.
I completely agree with you on that. And that's something that I tell patients, even, and I practice as well, is that you can't pour into others if you don't pour into yourself. So you really do have to really think of yourself first, because you can't be a good sister, a good wife, a good mother, a good coworker if you don't pour into yourself. So,
and people see that and they feel that they know, they know. So it's like, you want to be better because you are also part of a team. You want to be, you want to serve that purpose for your team.
Right.
So I do understand completely.
Yes, completely agree. Wow, Gabby, it was so great talking to you. It feels like we were like just talking out and just, hanging out. So I do appreciate your time. And so that concludes our podcast. Thank you.
Thank you for having me on here.
No problem. You've been a pleasure.